Hey, let me ask you something. Have you ever watched your mom or dad, maybe your grandma or grandpa, shuffle into the bathroom for their daily shower and something just doesn't feel right? Maybe they're moving slower than usual, or their skin looks red and irritated, almost like it's screaming for help. Or maybe you've caught them looking so worn out afterward, like that one simple routine took everything they had. You brush it off thinking, it's just a shower? It's got to be good for them, right? But what if I told you that the way they're bathing, those habits they've had for years, could actually be stealing their energy, their comfort, and maybe even years from their life? See, bathing isn't just about getting clean. After 70, it's a whole different story. Those little habits we take for granted can quietly chip away at their health, drying out their skin, sapping their strength, or worse, setting them up for something serious. But here's the thing. When you know what to look for, you can help your loved ones stay vibrant, comfortable, and safe in their later years. You can make their days feel like a warm hug instead of a struggle. That's why today, I'm diving deep into 5 shocking bathing habits that might be hurting your elderly loved ones. And trust me, some of these will catch you off guard. I'll show you what's going wrong, why it's happening, and exactly what you can do to turn things around. Stay with me until the end, because the last habit, it's the one most families miss, and it could be a total game changer for someone you love. If you're here because you want to keep your loved ones healthy and happy, drop "I'm here" in the comments below and hit that subscribe button for Elder Talks Daily. We're all about sharing practical, heartfelt tips to help you care for the people who mean the world to you. Okay, let's talk about the first bathing habit that could be silently harming your loved one: overbathing with hot water. Picture your 75-year-old dad who's always loved his long, steamy showers every single morning. It's his ritual, his way to start the day feeling fresh. But lately, you've noticed something worrisome. His skin looks dry, almost like it's peeling, and he's scratching all the time, leaving red marks. You figure, well, he's getting older. That's just what happens, right? But what if those scorching hot showers are doing more than just cleaning his skin? What if they're actually hurting him? Here's what's going on. As we get older, our skin changes in ways we don't always see right away. It starts producing less natural oil, so it gets thinner, more fragile, like tissue paper. Now, when you add hot water to that, it's like pouring gasoline on a fire. That heat strips away the little moisture the skin has left, leaving it irritated, cracked, sometimes even open to infections. Over time, this doesn't just make your loved one uncomfortable. It can weaken their skin's ability to protect their body, opening the door to bigger health problems that nobody wants to deal with. Now, here's where a lot of families get it wrong. You see that dry, flaky skin, and you think, oh, it's just aging. Let's grab some lotion and call it a day. So you slather on whatever's in the cabinet, hoping it'll fix things. But here's the kicker. If your dad keeps taking those hot daily showers, no amount of lotion is going to undo the damage. Worse, some lotions, the ones with heavy fragrances or alcohol, can actually irritate that sensitive skin even more, turning a small problem into a painful one. So what can you do to help? First, try gently suggesting a change in routine. Instead of daily showers, encourage bathing every other day using lukewarm water, not hot. Keep those showers short, like 5 to 10 minutes, just enough to get clean without stressing the skin. Swap out that harsh body wash for a gentle, fragrance-free cleanser, something that won't strip away natural oils. When they're done, don't let them rub their skin dry with a towel. That's too rough. Instead, show them how to pat gently, keeping some moisture in. And right after, while their skin is still a little damp, help them apply a thick, hypoallergenic moisturizer. It's like giving their skin a shield to stay soft and protected. Now, fixing hot showers is just the beginning. There's another bathing habit that might catch you by surprise, and it's all about the soap your loved one's using. Let's dive into that next. Moving on to the second bathing habit that could be quietly hurting your loved one: using harsh soaps or body washes. Close your eyes for a second and imagine your grandmother, the one who's always had that same bar of scented soap sitting by her sink. It's been her go-to for decades, maybe because it reminds her of her younger days, or just because she loves the lavender smell. But now, every time she steps out of the shower, her skin is red, itchy, sometimes even blotchy. You're thinking, maybe she's allergic to something new, or could it be the detergent in her clothes? But what if that beloved soap, the one she swears by, is actually the problem? Here's the deal. As we age, our skin becomes a lot more sensitive. It's not just about looking older, it's about how the skin works. It produces less oil, so it's already struggling to stay hydrated. On top of that, the immune system isn't as strong, so it can't fight off irritation as well. When your grandmother uses a soap packed with fragrances, sulfates, or other harsh chemicals, it's like attacking her skin with a scrub brush. Those ingredients rip away the natural oils that keep her skin balanced, leaving it raw and open to problems. In some cases, this can even spark conditions like eczema, where the skin gets so inflamed it's painful to touch. It's not just a little discomfort, it can make every day feel like a battle. Now here's where a lot of us miss the mark. You might think, if the soap smells strong and makes lots of bubbles, it's doing a better job, right? So you encourage your grandma to keep using that fancy perfumed soap because it feels like it's getting her cleaner. Or maybe she's the one insisting, saying, "This is what I've always used, and I'm fine." But those soaps aren't doing her any favors. They're stripping away the protective layer her skin desperately needs, leaving it vulnerable to cracks, infections, or even sores that take forever to heal. It's not about how clean she feels. It's about what her skin can handle at this stage of life. So how can you help? Start by swapping out that harsh soap for something gentler. Look for a mild, fragrance-free soap or a moisturizing body wash made for sensitive skin. Check the label for words like hypoallergenic or formulated for dry skin. Those are your best bets. If your grandmother's attached to her old soap, don't force the change overnight. That might make her dig in her heels. Instead, try introducing the new one slowly. Maybe mix a little of the gentle wash with her favorite soap, or leave the new one in the bathroom and let her try it out. You could even make it fun, say, "Hey, I found this new soap that's supposed to be amazing for keeping skin soft. Want to give it a shot?" Small steps can make a big difference without making her feel like she's losing control. Choosing the right soap is a huge step, but even the gentlest cleanser won't do much good if your loved one is lingering too long in the bath. Let's talk about why that's a problem next. Let's move on to the third bathing habit that could be putting your loved one at risk: spending too long in the bath. Picture your elderly aunt, the one who's always cherished her quiet moments in the tub. Every evening, she fills it up, maybe adds a little bubble bath, and soaks for a good 30 minutes, saying it's her way to unwind. It's her slice of peace, and you love that she has something that brings her joy. But lately, you've noticed she's a bit wobbly when she steps out, maybe even dizzy, grabbing the counter to steady herself. Her skin looks shriveled, almost like it's been drained of life. You think, well, she's just relaxing. That's gotta be good for her, right? But what if those long soaks aren't the treat they seem to be? What if they're actually dangerous? Here's what's happening. When someone over 70 spends a long time in water, especially warm water, it's not just a matter of pruning fingers. That prolonged exposure sucks moisture out of their skin, leaving it dry and brittle, almost like cracked desert ground. But it's not just the skin that suffers. Soaking for too long can mess with their blood pressure, especially in older adults whose bodies don't regulate circulation as well. That drop in pressure is why your aunt might feel lightheaded or shaky when she stands up. And here's the scary part. That dizziness can lead to a fall. And for someone her age, a fall isn't just a bruise. It could mean a broken hip, a hospital stay, or worse. One moment of relaxation could turn into a life-changing accident. Now here's where a lot of families miss the warning signs. You see your aunt enjoying her baths and you think, let her have this. It's harmless and she deserves it after all she's been through. Or maybe she's the one insisting, saying, I've always taken long baths and I'm not stopping now. But what you don't realize is that her body isn't the same as it was 20 years ago. Those extended soaks aren't just drying out her skin, they're putting stress on her heart, her balance, and her ability to stay safe. Ignoring that dizziness or brushing it off as just getting old could mean missing a chance to keep her out of harm's way. So, what can you do to keep her safe without taking away her sense of comfort? Start by encouraging shorter baths or showers. Aim for 5 to 10 minutes, just enough to get clean and feel refreshed. If she loves that soaking ritual, try suggesting a warm foot bath instead. It's cozy, it's relaxing, and it's way safer because she's not climbing in and out of a slippery tub. You can even make it special. Add a few drops of her favorite essential oil to the water, or set up a comfy chair for her to sit in. Another big step is making her bathroom safer. Install grab bars near the tub or shower so she has something sturdy to hold on to. And always double-check the water temperature. Too hot and it'll make that dizziness even worse. If she's hesitant, approach it with love. Say, I just want you to feel good and stay safe, so let's try a quicker bath and see how it goes. It's about showing you care, not taking away her independence. Keeping baths short is a huge step towards safety, but there's another habit a lot of families overlook: skipping moisturizer after bathing. Let's dig into why that's such a big mistake next. Now let's talk about the fourth bathing habit that could be quietly causing trouble for your loved one: skipping moisturizer after bathing. Picture your grandfather, the kind of guy who's always been tough as nails. He takes his daily shower, scrubs down with soap, and gets out, ready to tackle the day. But when you suggest putting on lotion, he scoffs and says, "That's not for men. I don't need that stuff." Lately, though, you've noticed his skin looks rough, like old leather, with cracks that sometimes bleed. He's wincing when he moves, and he's clearly uncomfortable, even if he won't admit it. You wonder, is skipping moisturizer really that big of a deal, or is this just what happens when you get older? Here's the truth. When your grandfather steps out of the shower, his skin is already fighting a losing battle. As we age, our skin doesn't hold onto water the way it used to. It's like a sponge that's gone brittle. It soaks up moisture for a moment, but then it dries out fast. Without something to seal that moisture in, his skin turns parched, tight, and fragile. Those cracks you're seeing, they're not just cosmetic. They can become entry points for bacteria, leading to infections or painful sores that take ages to heal. For someone over 70, these aren't small issues. They can spiral into serious health problems like skin ulcers or even hospital stays if things get bad. It's not about vanity. It's about keeping his body strong enough to protect itself. Here's where a lot of us go wrong. You might think moisturizing is just a nice to have, something for people who care about looking young or feeling pampered. Or maybe your grandfather's the one shrugging it off, saying, "I've never used lotion in my life, and I'm fine." Some folks, especially men or those who hate the feel of greasy creams, see it as unnecessary. But skipping this step is like leaving a wound uncovered. It turns small problems into big ones. Those tiny cracks can itch like crazy, keeping him up at night, or they can get infected, forcing him to deal with pain and doctor visits he doesn't need. Ignoring moisturizer isn't just a quirk. It's a risk that could make his days a lot harder than they have to be. So how can you help him without making it feel like a chore? The key is to make moisturizing simple and quick. Right after his shower, while his skin is still a little damp, within 3 minutes if you can, help him apply a thick, fragrance-free moisturizer. Look for ones with ingredients like ceramides or hyaluronic acid. They're like superheroes for locking in hydration. If he hates heavy creams that feel sticky, try a lightweight lotion instead. You could even take him shopping or order a few samples online and let him pick one that feels good. Maybe say, "Hey, this one's made for tough guys like you, no fancy smells." Make it his choice so it feels less like you're pushing him. And if he's really resistant, start small. Maybe just focus on the driest spots, like his elbows or shins, and show him how much better they feel after a few days. It's about building a habit that keeps him comfortable, not changing who he is. Moisturizing can make a world of difference, but there's one final bathing habit that's often completely overlooked, and it might be the most dangerous of all. Let's uncover it next. Diving into the fifth and final bathing habit that could be silently putting your loved one in danger: ignoring fatigue or weakness after bathing. Picture your elderly mother, the one who's always been fiercely independent. She insists on taking her showers alone, closing the bathroom door with a firm, "I've got this." But when she comes out, you notice she's moving slower, her face a little pale, maybe even leaning against the wall to catch her breath. Her legs seem shaky, like they're not quite steady under her. You ask, "You okay, Mom?" And she waves you off saying, "I'm just a little tired, it's nothing." You want to respect her independence, so you let it go, thinking it's just part of getting older. But what if that exhaustion isn't just a normal day? What if her determination to do it all herself is putting her at serious risk? Here's what's really going on. Bathing isn't just a quick rinse. It's a workout for someone over 70. Think about it. They're standing, balancing on a slippery surface, reaching to wash their back, maybe bending to clean their feet. That takes strength, coordination, and energy, things their body doesn't have in endless supply anymore. For an elderly person, especially if they've got health issues like a weaker heart or less muscle mass, that effort can leave them drained, shaky, or worse. That fatigue can make them dizzy, increasing the chance they'll slip and fall. And falls at this age aren't just a stumble. They can mean broken bones, head injuries, or a long road to recovery. Even scarier, that exhaustion could be a sign of something deeper, like strain on their heart or a condition that's gone unnoticed. It's not just about being tired. It's about what that tiredness is trying to tell you. Now here's where a lot of families get tripped up. You see your mom pushing through and you admire her strength. She's always been the one who handled everything, so you think, if she says she's fine, I should let her be. Or maybe you chalk up her shakiness to just aging, assuming it's normal for her to feel worn out after a shower. But brushing off those signs is like ignoring a flashing warning light on your car. You're respecting her independence, sure, but you might be missing a chance to keep her safe or catch a health issue before it gets serious. That fatigue could be her body waving a red flag, and if you don't pay attention, it could lead to an accident or a misdiagnosis that changes her life. So what can you do to help without making her feel like she's losing her freedom? Start by checking in after her baths, but keep it casual. Just say, "Hey, how are you feeling after that shower?" Watch for signs she's overly tired or unsteady. Maybe she's sitting down right away or her hands are trembling. If you notice those red flags, gently suggest cutting back to bathing every other day to give her body a break. You could also bring up a shower chair. It's a game changer for safety and lets her sit while she washes, saving her energy. If she's open to it, offer to help with small things, like handing her a towel or steadying her as she steps out. But do it in a way that feels like teamwork, not taking over. Say something like, "Let's make this easier so you can save your energy for the stuff you love." And if that fatigue keeps happening, don't wait. Talk to her doctor. It might be more than just the bath. It could be a clue to something like low blood pressure or a heart issue that needs attention. Your love and attention could make all the difference. Now that we've covered these 5 bathing habits, let's take a moment to think about what they mean for you and your loved ones emotionally and how you can turn this knowledge into action. Let's take a deep breath and talk about what these 5 bathing habits really mean for you and the people you love. Watching someone you care about, a parent, a grandparent, maybe an aunt or uncle, struggle with something as basic as bathing can hit you right in the heart. You see them wincing from itchy skin, or catching their breath after a shower, or brushing off their shakiness with a forced smile, and it's like a little piece of you breaks. These are the people who raised you, who held your hand, who always seemed unstoppable. Now they're slowing down, and it's tough to watch. You want to help, but you're caught in this tug of war. How do you step in without making them feel like they're losing who they are? It's heavy, and it's okay to admit that it hurts to see them like this. But here's where I want you to shift how you're looking at this. Those 5 habits we just talked about, hot showers, harsh soaps, long baths, skipping moisturizer, ignoring fatigue, they're not just problems to worry about. They're opportunities. Every single one of those habits is something you can notice, something you can act on, something that lets you wrap your love around your loved one in a way that keeps them safer, more comfortable, and stronger for longer. This isn't about being afraid of what's going wrong. It's about stepping into your power to make things right. You're not helpless here. You're the one who can spot that red, irritated skin and say, "Let's try a gentler soap." You're the one who can notice their exhaustion and say, "How about a shower chair to make this easier?" Every small change you make is like giving them a gift, a little more ease, a little more dignity, a little more time to enjoy the things that matter most. So let's make a promise to yourself right now. If you've seen any of these habits in someone you care about, Don't let this moment slip by. Take one small step today. Maybe it's peeking at the soap in their bathroom to see if it's packed with fragrances. Maybe it's timing their showers to see if they're lingering too long in that warm water. Or maybe it's just sitting down with them over a cup of coffee and asking, "Hey, how do you feel after your bath? Is it wearing you out?" Those conversations, those tiny actions, they add up. They're not just about fixing a problem. They're about showing your loved one that you see them, that you're in their corner, that you're fighting for their comfort every single day. You don't have to overhaul their routine overnight. Just start somewhere, anywhere, and let that love guide you. Caring for someone over 70 is a journey, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's tough. There are days when you'll feel overwhelmed, when you'll wonder if you're doing enough, when you'll wish you could turn back time to when they were stronger. But here's what I want you to hold on to. You are enough. With every bit of patience you show, every moment you listen, every change you help them make, you're giving them a chance to live their later years with warmth and joy. You're helping them feel like themselves, even on the hard days. You're building memories that'll mean the world to both of you. You've got the heart, the strength, and now the knowledge to make their days brighter. And you're not alone. Elder Talks Daily is right here with you, cheering you on, sharing tips, and reminding you that every step you take is making a difference. Now let's wrap this up with a few final thoughts and a chance to keep this conversation going. To wrap up, we've walked through 5 bathing habits that could be quietly harming your loved one after 70. First, those scorching hot showers that dry out their skin. Then, harsh soaps that irritate and inflame. Spending too long in the bath, which can lead to dizziness or falls. Skipping moisturizer, leaving their skin cracked and vulnerable. And finally, ignoring that exhaustion or shakiness after bathing, which could be a sign of something serious. These aren't just little quirks, they're signals, and paying attention to them could be the key to keeping your loved one healthy, comfortable, and safe. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you noticed any of these habits in someone you care about? Maybe your dad's skin looks red and itchy after his showers, or your grandma seems wiped out every time she bathes. Or maybe you've run into other bathing challenges that have left you scratching your head, wondering how to help. Drop your stories in the comments below. I'm reading every single one, and I'd love to know what you're seeing, what's worked for you, or even what's got you worried. This isn't just about me talking. It's about us learning from each other, sharing tips, and building a community that's all about caring for the people who mean the most to us. So take a second, write down what's on your mind, and let's keep this conversation going. If this video has opened your eyes to new ways to care for your loved ones, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button. It's a small thing, but it helps more people find this information, and that means more families can make a difference for their elderly loved ones. And if you want to keep getting heartfelt, practical tips like these, subscribe to Elder Talks Daily. It's completely free, and every week we're diving into topics that matter, things that help you show up for the people you love with confidence and care. One click, and you're part of a community that's all about making those later years as joyful as possible. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Honestly, it means the world to know you're out there, watching, listening, and caring so deeply for the people in your life. Being there for someone over 70 isn't always easy. There are moments that test your patience, moments that make your heart ache, moments where you wonder if you're getting it right. But every time you notice a small sign, every time you make a change, every time you show them they're not alone, you're giving them something priceless, love that they can feel, comfort that they can lean into, and days that shine a little brighter. You're doing something amazing, and I'm so proud to be in this with you. Stay strong, keep learning, and never stop showing up for the ones who need you most. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care, keep your heart open, and let's keep talking about what matters.